Hi BookTube and happy Wednesday. I was catching up on watching BookTube videos last night and I saw Heidi over at My Reading Life talk about her TBR check-in, and I noticed how she's doing these monthly check-ins on the state of her TBR, considering like the books she brings into the house and then the books she unhauls or reads, and like she's trying to like dwindle down her list. And so it got me thinking, because in the past I've done the 100 book challenge here and there, and that's really the only time I've focused on the unread books on my shelf. Like, yes, I'm pulling from them, throughout the year, but when I was like really started paying attention to the numbers of it. And so I watched our video, and immediately after I counted all the books that I have. So I was astonished that I have 226 unread books. That does not count the books I'm currently in the middle of, that are technically unfinished. I didn't include those, so when I finish those, that's not going to go towards my total here. But I thought it'd be fun, even though I'm not starting this in the beginning of January to like kick off the whole year. I was like, why not start it now? Like, better late than never, just to put more of a focus on it. I have in the past dabbled with trying to read one Kindle book and then reading a physical book off my shelf. That way I'm not focusing on one or the other. I can still get through all the books that I want to read, but it has ebbed and flowed here and there, where sometimes I can more easily gravitate towards the books on my e-reader. I check out a number of books through the library, and so there's always something new and exciting coming my way. So those can, like the new flashy titles, I'm not talking not just like current new releases, but like these books I don't have on my shelves are coming my way, that kind of thing. The shiny things. But so yeah, it got me thinking about that. It also had me thinking about the state of my current ownership of books. I mainly have 3 bookcases here. There's one in the living room, but most of them aren't mine, and then some of these books aren't mine either, but most of them are. So and it just had me thinking about how through the years the number of books I own has changed. And I feel like I've touched on that a bit on the 100 book challenge, because when I started this channel back in 2019, I want to say, I didn't own any books until I moved here at my current location in 2020, at the end of 2020. So for those 2 years on BookTube, and even years prior to me being on BookTube, I didn't own any books. I shouldn't say any. I had like maybe 2 or 3 at any one time, but I was solely an ebook reader, just because in the past with different moves I've had to get rid of everything. So I was just burnt out from that. And two, mostly what I was reading at that time was readily available on ebook. So why take up space when I didn't have the space at the time? And then prior to that era, I had originally discovered BookTube. I want to say it was fall 2014. And at that time I had, I don't know, 20 or 30 books on my shelves. But then when I discovered BookTube and I was constantly seeing all these books talked about, I feel like a lot of us, when we discovered BookTube, I wanted to read everything. And instead of checking them out at my library, which I did, I predominantly was buying books because I would go into bookstores and I would recognize all these different titles that was mentioned, and I just basically, I had hundreds of books. I think I had well over 400, maybe 500 unread books. And I know, like, for some people that's a lot, for some people that's nothing. We all have our own perception of it, but for me that was a lot to own. And then they would sit there on my shelf, and by the time I could get around to reading it, I had completely forgot why I had bought it. But also, at that time, when I was brand new to BookTube, I was just taking everyone's recommendation point blank without any thought into it. Like, I was just thinking, like, oh, whatever they were reading, I was going to enjoy. But over the years, you learn, like, not that I wouldn't watch a channel that I don't read the same books as, but you learn who fits your taste, if that makes sense. And so so I learned not to buy everything that I was hearing about. But yeah, it's just interesting to think about how like the evolution of our reading. Yeah, and so I'm just like, I really wanted to do this video more to just hear what your state of your TBR is. If you know or don't know, I'm just like, what do you think of owning books? Owning a lot of books you haven't read yet, or like having this like zero TBR thing where, you know, whatever you purchase you're reading right away. I would love to get to that point. I don't know if it's ever gonna happen considering the state of my shelves now. I know when I've done, again, mentioning the 100 book challenge, because again, that's the mainly when I have focused on the numbers of things in the past. I've thought about having, like, you know, getting to the 0 books, and things like that. So anyway, yeah, I'm just curious what you think of this. I would like, I can't say I would like 0 books, but again, I feel like under 50, that's completely reasonable. Yeah, that's like I can't project how many books that is for me in a year, because it just depends on my mood and things like that. But yeah, and I immediately, when I was calculating the numbers, crunching the numbers, I was like, okay, how can I get this number down immediately? Like, what books are like, not fluff, but books that I just know I'm no longer interested in, and I can just like send them out the door. Like, that's where my mind immediately went. Which I think says something about some of the, not all these books on my shelf, but some of them, like, yeah, I shouldn't keep them. But yeah, I just want to know what your thoughts are, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks, BookTube.